I had to learn that because I was just all the sensitive forever by being raised that I was. And then I had to actually learn what it is to be a man. And I didn't learn this until I was in my 40s.
Yeah.
And when I had my children, my wife and I were reading all the conscious parenting books. And I saw a documentary one day that changed who I am as a father. And it basically, a deer popped out of the womb, a baby deer, and stood up and ran away. And I was like, wow. Not a wobble, not like the Bambi cartoons I grew up on, but just, and I thought, that's instincts. Do I have instincts to be a father? Why am I learning from the opinion of all these other people? When maybe I should just tune in to what I was given naturally and pop out of this womb of fatherhood and run in the direction that I know is my path as a father. Mm-hmm. And the moment I started, and I talked to my wife, I said, I'm just going to throw all that crap out the window. Because I see a lot of other friends that have adhered to that religiously, and I don't think their kids are doing that well. They're running their lives. They're running their parents' lives.
Yeah.
They're entitled little brats. We go out to dinner with the family. If the kid decides he wants to leave in 15 minutes, they'll say, okay, can you box it up to go? We have to leave. Really?
Or they'll radically adjust the menu where they'll make the kitchen make pizza or chicken tenders when you're at a Japanese place, shit like that.
And the thing, and I saw in this kind of conscious new age cult that I was trapped in for a long time, I saw the children, I started to experience a lot of younger boys because my kids were having friends come over and I would see their parents and I would see the kids like, this is a cool kid. Man, he looks me in the eyes. He says, thank you. Yes, sir. And may we have this? And thank you for letting me come over and play. Like, this is an awesome kid. Like, let me get to know his dad. I want to find out who this dad is, who the mom is too, that this little guy already has such reverence for big people. Mm-hmm. And then you'd see the kids that were just like so disrespectful. Like, I have to remind them over and over, hey, buddy, we don't do that in our house. You can't throw things. You can't scream. You can't. And they're just like, screw you, man. And what I recognized, my son Azai had a friend, they were about 5 years old apiece, and my son just loved this kid. But we were starting to get tired of having him come over because we were like, every time he comes over, there's a problem. He breaks something or he's just unruly. And we became friends with his parents, and we loved his parents. They were super cool people. But one day, I took my son and this little friend out for an entire day, and I just treated them to the funnest day ever. And this kid the whole time was being disrespectful. And I had to keep reminding him, we don't do that here in this family. It's a little different, we don't. And please let me know if you're going to leave and run away or whatever. I'm in charge of you. I got to know where you are, man. And it's like, you don't just take off and go to another store. And I panicked. So it was a day of just like, this kid doesn't care. Anything I say doesn't matter. And finally, on the way home, he kept screaming in the car. And I kept saying, don't do that. My son's saying, don't do that. And finally, I pulled the car over really abrupt. The tires squealed. And I turned around and I let him have it. And he was like, and I said, you got it? Never again, bud. And I turned around, we were heading home, and I heard my son go, my dad's not like your dad. Don't do that. Right? Mm-hmm. And we get home, and the next day there's a play date. And for the first time ever, the two parents, I looked at the peephole, and two parents are there with the boy. And I'm like, here we go. He told them, we're going to have to deal with this. I opened the door, and the kid ran to me and grabbed me and wouldn't let go. And his parents go, wow, he never does that. And he was, from that point on, this kid was so respectful of me and just wanted to, we'd be dinner. He's like, can I sit on your lap? And I'm like, what? Like, what happened here? What it taught me was the kids are smart enough to know that our world is very dangerous. If they don't have an alpha in their life that they feel that can take care of them and has their back, they don't feel safe in this world. Yeah. His dad was so soft, good guy, loving guy. But it was constant, like, I'll make up a name because I don't want to give this away in case they see this. But, Bobby, don't do that. Don't hit your mother. Don't hit. We don't hit. Hey, I see you're angry, but we never, that's like the extent of his. And I became much more, I jokingly call it the Republican father. I became much more like, no, let's have some respect in this house because I'm going to teach you how to become a man and what the world is really like. And this kid just became so close to me. And the stronger I got with my kids, balanced. That's why I'm acknowledging you from being strong alpha and also very sensitive. That's the archetype I am for my boys. Cuddle, love, just oozing with love and gratitude, eye gazing with every other day, making them know sure how much I love them and how lucky I am to be their father. And at the same time, don't cross that line.
Yeah, totally.
My kids feel safe with me. They know daddy will take care of business if anyone tries to ever come and hurt them.
Right.
And the moment this kid had the first experience of an alpha who said, I'm not going to take your shit. I draw the line right here and you're not going to get away with that. And you want to be around our family? This is my rules and don't ever break them. He was like, I could see him going from like, yeah, I run my family, but it actually leaves them feeling unsafe because then they're thinking, if the two biggest pillars in my life I have control over, who's got my back?
Yeah.
So they actually need to feel safe by allowing that presence. And so I've witnessed that in you. And I've always just wanted to share that with you, just witnessing who you are being. And I've never heard that story from you of how you were raised, and now it makes perfect sense. I know you do a lot of inner work, so I thought, perhaps it's just the inner work, but having that foundation of a parent, because our lives are comprised by every choice we make. And so them giving you the power to choose, but also the guidance to say that we choose for you.
Yeah.
We're not going to put a loaded gun in your hand at 5 years old.
Right.
Because we're responsible enough to understand the development process that you're in right now, and that wouldn't be a safe choice for you, and we love you. My kids know, the metaphor I use for them, and then I'll turn this over to you, was I said, listen, you've come to climb a mountain. We all come to climb a mountain. And I've been up and down the mountain that you're just starting to climb multiple times. The first time I got to the mountain, I took every wrong turn you can possibly imagine. I learned everything the hard way and fell off every cliff and injured myself over and over and over and had to get back to the base and start that climb again over and over and over because I didn't have a lot of guidance in my life. I'm here to actually show you the direct path straight up that mountain. But you are going to be tempted at certain intersections, crossroads of your life, to take another turn because you're going to prove to yourself that it's your choice and not mine. And I'm going to be here for you back at that intersection when you return, waiting for you, loving you just as much, understanding that you had a valuable experience for you. But my job is to help you get up that mountain. So everything I teach you is to get you where you choose to be, not where I choose you to be, where you choose to be. Whatever that mountaintop turns out to be for you, I'm going to show you every possible path of least resistance that I can show you. And I'm going to leave it up to you to take that path or not. I'm going to love you regardless.
Yeah.
And so my boys know that when I say, hey, we have something to talk about. I'm in the bathtub last night. And I was like, hey, guy. And they had two friends stay over. And they come down. They're like, what's up, Dad? And I go, I just wanted to say, and I planted a seed. I said, I want to respect you tonight. And it's a Thursday night. I have to get up early. You don't have school. You don't study on Fridays. And I don't want to disrespect you in front of your friends by telling you it's time to go to bed because I need my sleep. So I just ask of you guys that you keep that in mind and you let your friends know and you're sleeping by 1 o'clock. Is that cool? Can we make that agreement? Because I hear your firm's right above mine.
Yeah, totally.
And they're like, got it, Dad. And they did it.
Yeah, for sure. Because they love you.
Because they respect.
They love and respect you. Yeah. The other